Hello, Joseph. Kindly let us know when to begin, if all the students have joined. Good afternoon, everyone. I request all our panelists to kindly switch on their videos. Thank you there. So there was a little delay. I really apologize for that. With that note, let's begin for the day. Dear students, gone are the days when an engineering degree was more than sufficient for one to land in their dream job. Today, industries want much more than a mere qualification of an engineering degree. This can be in terms of the candidate's professional skill sets, training in advanced and emerging technologies, and the list just goes on. As if this wasn't enough, the current picture of the corporate arena doesn't look that great. The job market is looking very bleak with many layoffs and halts in hiring processes. Given the case, some insights from the industry experts, especially the ones who know candidates, the HRs becomes very important. and today's discussion is an effort towards the same. Dear students, ISERT brings to you a very relevant discussion: placement opportunities in tough times and your preparedness. We have a panel of four esteemed experts joining us in this discussion. Let's welcome them together. Mr. Gijo Thomas, Head of Learning and Development at Aura Infra Private Limited. Ms. Naina Martin, Director L&D at Aditi Tech Consulting. Ms. Usha Murthy, Senior HR Business Partner at Optiv, and Ms. Vandana Sabu Mehta, General Manager HR at Gopalan Snacks Limited. All these experts have more than a decade's experience in hiring young talents and watching them grow into experienced professionals. I request all the students joining here from various educational institutions to make the most of this opportunity and understand the industry demands so that you can be well prepared. Without wasting any further time, let me begin the conclave with my very first question to the panelists. Dear experts, what has been your experience in terms of recruiting fresh talents? Can we begin with Mr. Gijo Thomas, please?
Hi, Priyanka. Good afternoon to everyone. Priyanka, just correcting my name, it's Dijo Matthew, not
Gijo
Thomas.
Matthew, sorry. Very sorry, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me here for this wonderful discussion. I welcome my fellow colleagues also, Nayanam, Usha, Vandana. Happy to meet everyone. And it's a one good platform wherein we can probably share our experience and expertise with the students who would like to grow. Let me ask this question to the students who are there, and probably they can type in the chat box. Type in the chat box also. What is the difference between a job and a career? If quickly someone can just share a few thoughts, what is the difference between a job and a career?
The coordinates, kindly let us know what the students are thinking. Kindly type the answers. What is the difference between a job and a career? And ACS College of Engineering, the one who has joined, kindly mute yourself, please. Thank you.
Priyanka, you'll have to also
Sorry, sir, I missed you.
please let me know if there are any information
sure.
or messages coming
Sure.
in the chat box.
Sure, sir. I'll do that.
I'm not looking into the chat box.
Yeah.
Why I'm asking this question is probably we have lost a relevance in understanding what kind of a thing are we doing today, right? Probably each and every panelist who is here and who's got a lot of experience, if I can take them back to the days when they had their first interview, right? There were a lot of butterflies in their stomach. There were a lot of books they would be keeping in mind, reference notes, because they want to be the best. They want to crack the interview and get that dream job. But today, what is happening in the world is that a student is vying for a job, not for a career. What I always look at children or students is that one advice which I tell them that do skill yourself every year. Pick up two skills and skill yourself every year, starting from the day you join your education line, let's say engineering, or let's say it is a postgraduate degree. From that day, if they start skilling themselves, they would have around 8 to 10 skills in which they can probably boast themselves. And the moment they land into an interview or a panel, they would be able to give this answer more confidently, what they're trying to do, how they're trying to be the best among the various candidates available. Just sharing an example, recently when I interviewed few children for a profile, their CV was mismatching what they were trying to say. This is a common thing which we are finding today. Their resume says something else, but what they're trying to say is something else. There's a disconnect. So to put the thing straight, and one piece of advice is that don't try to be dishonest to yourself. Even if you are failed, it is fail. It's a failure kind of a thing. Be clear. If there are certain subjects wherein you have to clear, be straight to the interview panel and say, sir, I'm working on it, or madam, I'm working on it, and I'll come back to you. But I could be an asset to the organization because the organization needs students who have values. Organization will skill them, we'll teach them, and they become an employee who can contribute to the organization and the industry. We want individuals who will be really beneficials, sincerely coming into the organization, stepping into with a lot of ethics, and then they take the organization to the next level. So that's my initial thought process. Let me know wherein you get your answers. What is the difference between a job and a career? Probably I can come back and summarize this.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We haven't received any response yet, but I'm sure we will have some. Yes, Ms. Nayana, can we go ahead with your answer for the same question?
Yes. Thank you for this opportunity, Priyanka. Pretty much adding to what Jiju just mentioned, I think being honest, integrity matters a lot, when we are hiring freshers into our organization. I have worked close to 15 years in the recruitment industry. Uh, and mostly my area of expertise has been with fresher hiring. I come from an L&D domain, so post hiring, obviously these freshers, after they're being onboarded into the organization, they spend close to 30 days with us in training. So, one thing, it's very important. Now, recently, as you mentioned, sir, I joined Aditi Consulting about 1 year and a half now. So, as you said, at that point in time in 2000s when I was starting my career, and now if I have to compare, I spent close to 13 years in the organization I was previously working with, which was CareerNet Consulting. And last year, when I interviewed for this opportunity, it was the same, the stress that I went through when I had to attend this interview. I went through all the profiles whom I would be, taking up for discussion, who would be interviewing me. I went on LinkedIn to make sure, okay, who am I interviewing in the next round? What am I being expected? What is the company all about? And so many things. The preparation really helped crack that interview, right? So it doesn't matter whether you're a fresher or someone interviewing at a director level. It's the same thing. It's the intent, it's the seriousness with which you go into that interview, how badly you want that role for yourself. It's not about the job, as you rightly said, sir. It's no more about the job, it's about that role. And how you're able to convince those interviewers to say what impact you can create in that role. You can be a fresher, but still, the intent with which you come into that interview makes a huge difference. Again, coming back to the point, uh, I have interviewed freshers. We have gone to colleges in Coimbatore, across Karnataka. Every year, this is part of our organization drill. Campus hiring is one of our key branding. We especially in Aditi. Aditi is a US company based out of California, and we have our operations from India, right, in Bangalore and Baroda. We emphasize on SPICE values. What is SPICE? Socially conscious, people and performance driven. I is for integrity, C is for creativity, and E is for ethical. So the first conversation in our interview, the discussion begins with spice. And before even we, start the interview, at the time of the screening process, we send out these, 5 values to the, candidates and ask them to come prepared based on what they know about it. So we begin the discussion talking about spice values, whether it's freshers or experienced, and all the more for freshers, just to know how they think about these values, how values are important to them. So I think, to the point, being honest is very, very important, especially in today's times where most of the interviews happen virtually. There is more than, I think, several instances we face on a regular basis where when they come into the team, we think, hey, this was not the same person I interviewed. She or she looked so different from who she or she is now. So with so many foolproof methods that are being adapted, I think it becomes all the more important that candidates present their real self. If you don't know something, it's perfectly okay to say you don't know, but it's the intent that really matters, and how badly you want that role is what matters to us as interviewers, to us as L&D professionals whom we want to bring into the organization. We look at their scalability, we look at their ability to learn when we are looking for candidates who want to come into the organization. And thirdly, how they're a culture fit to the organization. When I say culture fit, it's more from a learning standpoint, right? uh, what is their intent, how badly they want this role, what kind of how flexible will they be tomorrow if I'm going to put them across projects, right? How flexible they are in terms of aligning with rest of the team members, whether they're junior members or seniors in the team. how comfortable they are, how what kind of confidence they come with to fit into an organization like this, into a dynamic business environment. So I think very clearly summarizing, one, it is very important to carry integrity, to uphold their values. Being freshers, I'm sure, going through a lot of such trainings at the college level itself, I'm sure there's a lot of exposure colleges themselves give them, prepare them to take up these interviews. So I'm sure all of them will have some value or the other, in some proportion when they're coming into these interviews. So be true to yourself, showcase your skills to the best that you know. If you don't know something, it's okay to say you don't know, but it's just the intent, the intent to learn is what makes the difference in your final selection rounds.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you. So, as Ms. Naina said, even if you do not know anything, there's nothing wrong in saying you do not know. It's mostly the passion that you carry towards, getting that particular role, or your integrity is what matters, is what she says. Thank you, ma'am, for your insights. Yes, moving ahead, Ms. Usha, can we have your response, please? What do you think?
So first of all, good afternoon, and thank you, Priyanka and Apita, for considering me for this conclave. And it's great opportunity for me to share the screen with the other panelists. So thank you, and uh, I think I would like to say that whatever I have experienced in I come post the hiring, so I'm part of talent management. So I have interacted people who come from campus to corporate is what I handle. So I have seen that enthusiasm and that energy in the young freshers. So I feel that they should also, as Jijo mentioned, more of job. They should be knowing what is their career path in the organization. So how they are going to grow in the organization, and if they have the right attitude, the as Naina mentioned, the inclusiveness, the culture fitment, then everything can be achieved easily. So I think they have to know, they have to come prepared and know that what is the company is all about. And they should also understand like what is that they are going to contribute, how they are going to connect and collaborate with the people over there. So this is very important. And I think nowadays the freshers come with lot of skills. So I want those skills to be groomed, and also they have to utilize those skills in the right way. So there are opportunities. I'm working for a cybersecurity and a networking company. I always say on the day one that don't think that this is the job which you're going to do for the next 2 years, 3 years. Explore. There are a lot of different uh, practices. There are different work which has been taken care. Like we are doing end to end to the client. So you just explore where I can fit in, how I can develop my skills in other areas. So that kind of an aspiration has to be there in the freshers, that whatever is there in the organization, I will try to utilize and learn maximum. And given an opportunity, I'll be the first to go and grab it. So that's what I think, the right attitude, the enthusiasm, the energy, what they carry, and how they bring it to the organization makes a lot of difference for everybody. So that's what I would like to say.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So, students, it's more of a give and take. What is the energy, the passion, the thing that you bring into the organization, your creativity, your innovativeness? How do you want to explore the opportunities that's already existing? That's what they see, right? As Ms. Usha Mukti rightly pointed out, let's move ahead to our next panelist, Ms. Vandana. Can we have your response, please?
Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel that I'm going back to my old days. Thank you so much, Priyanka and Apita, for having me here, and good afternoon to everybody. Yes, I play a very critical role because I lead the HR functionality. So, recruitment as well as training falls under me. I have seen a drastic change over a period of time. Today, training has taken over a vital role. in any organization. So when the hiring process starts, specifically for students, I would say, we are looking for somebody who can think out of the box primarily. You don't have to be a single line driven, right? The days are gone where company used to give you instruction and say you just follow this, right? So the openness is one thing which we are looking forward. Now, when I talk about openness, it's two-way because now there's nothing called as a senior and a junior. When you are sitting on the dais, your ideas are most welcome, right? So there today the young generation is playing a very critical role in any organization, right? During your induction time, we find some people who are very passionate, who are very driven towards work, which is what we want. We don't want people who are just closing their eyes and ears and listening to our instruction. Specifically, as you know, everybody has just mentioned, during your interviews, you should be very clear about your thought. That is something which is very important. Primarily, understand what is the organization all about. Then, most important thing, what is the job responsibility or role you are being hired for initially? As you know, you grow in an organization, is a diversity we look forward. But understand, is it something which drives you there? Do you want to do that, or it's just a stamp that okay, it's a 5 lakh rupee or 7 lakh rupee or a 15 lakh rupee package, so let me just jump into it? And what happens when you clear your interview because you're a smart chap, you regret your decision after 6 months? So please go through an organization, understand what an organization is all about. Are you interested in getting into that profile? So this is something we find disconnect after 6, 8 months, and then you crib, my friend is doing really good, or this, that. So I would request students first to do a research on yourself. What is the drive? What is something that drives you primarily? Secondly, any organization you come, the organization gives their heart and soul for you because truly you are an asset to us. So we train you, we work with you. So it's a parallel thing what is going on today. Every company has a very strong training and development department. So they look forward, they understand, they work with your energies, they work with your passion, and then you are assigned to your projects and accordingly you take it. So it's not a floor where maybe 18 years, 20 years when we joined, we learned by ourselves. Definitely our peers were there to help us. But today you have a plate full where everything is given to you. So this is the best opportunity. Second most important thing, learn. Don't compete, learn from everybody because that's where you are scaling up yourself primarily. Go for more sessions. I would say today there are so many courses which are available. We talk so much about AI and all those things. So make yourself equipped with it. There are free courses. You don't have to pay and learn, right? So spend little time, with different things. Understand what is in the market, what is happening around you. LinkedIn is the best source, I would say today, which is giving so much information. So everything is available in the open forum. So as a recruiter, we want to hire you, but come on the table, tell us what is your strength. Don't worry. We are not that devil kind who is going to say you, Arey, we don't want, and you have this weakness and this. No, maybe we will help you or prepare you for the next interview if it's coming on your way. So be very open, sit with an open, mindset, understand, and then talk about yourself primarily. Share your thought process, your strength, work on it, and then the organization is anyway there. So don't worry about it. And today, company need good people. We are growing left, right, center, and our strengths are also growing. So human is always the key resource for any organization. So this is where my take is. Good people, passionate people, open minded people are most welcome in an organization. And that's where the organization is striving for today. I started my career with Tata, and I was blessed to have a lot of trainings which actually shaped me very strongly. Today, I'm heading the department for Gopal Snacks, which is a snacks company of Gujarat. So, as Nayanam ma'am just mentioned that she had butterflies. So even when I was going for my interview after 15 years, I was like, oh God, what they're going to ask me? Should I go back to this book? Should I refer to this? So even today, we are also like you, freshers, right? So don't worry. Just go, keep your ideologies in place, understand what you want, and the world is open for you. So this is my take for you all. Thank you. Over to you, Priyanka.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So, as Vandana ma'am rightly said, it's more of self exploration that you have to pay attention to. What is it that you want? What is your passion, right? Does this job fit to you? As ma'am rightly said, you are an asset to an organization. Similarly, you should view an organization as an asset so that it can help you in terms of achieving your professional goal, right? So you have to explore and understand what the company is, how they perform, what are their products, does it suit with your ideologies, what is it, you understand yourself, you understand the company, and then move ahead. That's what Ms. Vandana had to say. So let's move to our next question. Sir Jijo Matthew, I come to you. So my next question is, how should the students be prepared in order to clear an interview in today's scenario, especially the
Thank you.
challenging times that we are facing now, when it's like, the hiring thing is quite bleak. So, how should they be prepared?
This is a wonderful question, and this is very subjective. Let me be very, very honest with you. This is subjective. An interviewer comes with a lot of preconceived notions at times in mind that I have to select this particular candidate, or but sometimes what happens, a candidate really does well, or she is able to impress the panel very nicely by the honest answers, by the sincerity in the work, and by the way they have this outlook of resolving and solving issues, right? So the best take for any candidate, which I can probably share, is that first and foremost, go through your resume. What have you written in your resume? Is it something which is mismatching? Someone would be saying that I have done a project on AI, whereas he doesn't know the meaning of AI, right? Because don't fool the interview panel. They have come, they probably know better things than you. Don't fool them. Be honest to them. One. Second, you have to excel in that interview. What is something which is there, a spark in you, which will make you stand out with the other people who are there to compete? Today, the world is changing, as you rightly said. One important thing which I will tell all the students is that get hold of something called mentorship. You need a mentor, right? A mentor will be able to tell you your weak areas, your strength areas, and over the years, he or she would be able to groom you. One, have trust on that particular mentor. Whatever he or she is telling you, please make sure you note it down and start working on it. I remember while I was taking session in one of the colleges, and a student told me that, sir, I have a fear in attending the interview because I can't speak properly. I said, what can't you speak properly? Is it English or something like that? He said, I can't speak properly. I have a stage fear. So I gave him some tips that how can he handle the people. First of all, you have to understand one thing: the people are there in your college or anywhere. People are there to support you. Okay, education is one thing, but skilling is in your own hand. You can probably score 90, 95 marks in your exams, but what you need to do is work on your personality. People today are looking at personalities. I see that they take interview as another day. They don't groom well when they come for interview. They probably think that this is a style which I can probably preach and proclaim. But you are highly mistaken. The interview board has certain things in mind. Let me be very honest with you. I come from an infra background. When I go and look for people, I want them to be polished. I look at people who are probably nicely groomed, even ladies nicely groomed. They're taking care of your basic hygiene. And when they speak, they are very clear in their words. They don't mince the words. What happens is that your body language gives a lot of information about you. If you're jittery, if you're not able to speak confidently, few things which I can tell the students is that start doing mock interviews among yourself. A person can be as an interviewer, they can have group discussions, take up topics which are there in the world. Just speak, just speak for yourself, just speak to each other and gain confidence. And during your time, let's say you have a week off or something like that, during vacation, take up topics, tell your what do you call, the job placement cell or your teachers who are helping you to counsel, There should be a fixed time wherein everyone gathers and starts debating, starts arguing, but make sure it doesn't get into a fight. When you say a debate, that should have some facts and figures into it. Interview people, if I'm part of an interview, I will look at facts a person is presenting. I have probably made this project in 30 days. Okay, 30 days, what did you do? Slept for 20 days, and the last 10 days I just put a paper. No, we are looking at what did you do in that 30 days. Don't proclaim something which is false. You can be easily caught. So my few advice is that start mock-up practice, have GDs, brush up your resume, which is something, a mirror image about yourself. Okay, don't try to be dishonest to anyone. You are being just dishonest to yourself, no one else. And start to stand up confidently when you're talking to people. That will create a different image of yours. So that's my views how they can go and crack an interview.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Like Sir said, it's like just merely writing some information in the resume will not help you out. What have you written and how did you achieve it? If you have done some project, what were the methodologies that you adopted and how did you do it? What was your learnings from it? That's what the questions would mainly be around in terms of a project when you see in a resume, basically, right? So that's one thing. And also make use of all the opportunities that you have in the college as of now, right? Participate in the debates, participate in group discussions, organize one, get to know yourself, improvise your personality so that it's like Sir said, it's no more that they're looking at your mark sheets. If even if you have got 90% and you cannot speak properly in front of an interviewer, then it's of no use, right? So along with your academics, you must also give importance to your personality. So that's one thing there. Let me move ahead to Miss Naina. Ma'am, your inputs, please.
Yeah, sure. So again, adding to what Sir Jijo you mentioned, again, being open, being honest, I think plays a very, very important role. So again, going back to the interview, processes that we follow in organizations today, there are multiple rounds that happen, and there are multiple tools that we use to evaluate candidates. So no more, saying something on the resume, and if that is not being, true, or that is not being validated, is just not going to take the candidates anywhere. What is there, put it in the resume, and keep this resume simple and presentable. Let it speak for you, let it speak for the candidate. And oftentimes when I see candidates come into the organization for interview, confidence means throwing their body out and putting themselves up and putting their legs up and talking. I think that's not what it is. Confidence means articulating your thoughts clearly. You may just know a line about something, it's still okay. Being freshers, obviously, there's no experience to talk about the skills that you showcase on your resume, but it's okay. You can talk about your college, you can talk about your experiences in different projects, your experience of working with your fellow classmates. It could be anything. It could be your own experience, your personal experience, which you could bring to the table and showcase how you, as an individual, is open to learn, is open to go the distance to do something. Not necessarily you have to bring work related, instances. Even on your personal front, you can pick up something and showcase how, as an individual, you are that go-getter. How you are perseverant. So that matters a lot. Just to give a simple example, recently we were hiring for somebody for our quality team. This is a position which has been open for a while, and we've interviewed a lot of members, and close to 15 candidates we had interviewed. Uh, I'll just take instances of two comparisons here. The guy who finally got selected. So he came with close to about 3 or 4, 6 years of experience, if I'm right, and completely no background in recruitment. He came from a completely different domain. However, he had done some bits of QA at some point in time in his career. But though the interview was scheduled for about 45 minutes, he took close to 1.5 hours to share his experiences. And I am like, okay, his conversation was so interesting that I didn't want to cut short his, discussion. I allowed him to talk. Then on the other hand, the same day we met another candidate who came with close to 20 years of experience, who had taken up some point of entrepreneurship projects, and for various reasons that did not work, and now he wanted to get back to the corporate world. So he was obviously interviewing for a junior role compared to his experience, and he just could not crack it. He just could not convince us as interviewers. The reason being, he spoke so much about a whole lot of things which very clearly shows that he's no more in touch with those concepts, right? He said that, this is something, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's just about looking into these presentations and I'll be doing it. Very casual. So I think that created a differentiator. One, there was this guy who was about 4 years of experience with limited knowledge in this domain versus a guy who came with 20 years of experience in in the same domain who did not get selected, right? So what we look for is that intent, who wants to take that opportunity, who was keen on the opportunity and who wanted to speak about it. At every opportunity he took it to talk about, to share his thoughts, to articulate what he felt about each of those questions that were being asked, versus another candidate who was like, who just wanted to say, yeah, okay, this is something I know, I have done it at some point in time in my life, and just by looking at the presentation, it's okay, just a couple of days of preparation and I think I should be able to do it. you know so we look for that intent, we look for that openness when we are hiring candidates, and most importantly, integrity matters a lot. As I said, there are multiple levels of interviews that happen. One at the business level, business folks interview candidates, then comes the HR round, then comes the L&D round, and then you have the various BGV processes that take place. So any fake documents or presenting themselves which is not genuine is definitely going to get tracked at some point in time or the other. So the best thing one can do is to show an honest intent to want that role, to want to create an impact in that particular organization. I think that is what is going to take them places.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, as ma'am rightly said, an honest intent is what is more important. And also, there is a difference between confidence and overconfidence. What the interviewers look forward for is confidence, how assertive you are, how articulate you are, more than it's like the attitude that you bring into the plate. So, even the attitude in terms of how willing are you in terms of learning to get trained, right? When a candidate comes to an interview, you are like a clay which gets molded. So how easy are you to get molded? How easy are you to create something out of you is what they will be looking forward for. So you portraying those skills becomes very important. And once again, I request all the student coordinators to check with the students in case they have any questions. Kindly post them here so that I can ask them with the experts. Yes,
And
with that,
Priyanka,
I
if I can
want to.
just add one
Yes, ma'am.
important point.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
Listening becomes very, very important. Most often, when candidates come for interview, especially at freshers, they're so enthusiastic, they don't allow the interviewers to complete the question and they want to jump into answering. So it's okay. Listen, take your time, process the information internally, and then, come up with your responses. It's nobody's in a hurry. It's that if the intent is there to want to share experiences or information, I think the interviewer is more than happy to spend the time, because we are there to take talents, we are there to select talent, so we want to give them the opportunity to showcase what they are capable of. So it's okay, listening becomes very, very important, to listen, to process, and then respond.
Yes, ma'am, that's rightly said, right? Efficient communication, active listening is a very important part of it. So, communication is a two-way thing. You just speak, it becomes one way. So, you should also pay attention to the other person. What is it? What are they saying, right? That's very important. With that, let me move on to Ms. Usha Murthy. Ma'am, your inputs, please.
I think most of the points are already covered by Jijo and Naina. So I would like to say that very important is preparedness for the interview. I think freshers, when they say that there is an interview in this company, they'll just go through the basic information about the company. I think very important is the updates. What is the organization current updates, and how the organization is performing, what are their goals. So if you just go prepared, I think I don't know, I when I started my career, I was having something in my mind like, this is my dream company, this is my dream job. I used to think about if I am placed in such companies, how will I be performing? So I think every student, if you ask, everyone will have something like that, that they will be having an aspiration like, I should see myself in such company. So just thinking about it doesn't will serve the purpose. So you need to also know like what is that company is doing currently, how they are performing, how what is that they are how they are placed in the market today, and those informations are very important. And as the other two said, resume. I think people think that how your answer sheets are more pages, similarly resumes with lot of pages gives lot of impact. No, nowadays it has changed. One page, even if you are 25 years, 35 years, 40 years in the industry, your resume should be one page or maximum two pages, not more than that. I think that is something which should talk more about you. So one page also should cover everything what you want to say to the interviewer. So that is very important. And body language, I think how you carry yourself, how you dress up for the interview, these are very, very important. I think the first impression is the best impression, they say, right? So how do you look when the interview see at you first time? So that makes a lot. So you should dress up well. You should know that which kind of a company you're going. If it is an MNC, then you should go with a proper outfit, and you should always go before ahead, like at least 30 minutes ahead the interview, and you have to be calm and confident. Confident in sense, that's what you should know, what is that your like the about the role, about the company, and what is that you're going to, what is the potential that you're going to bring into the table when you're having the interview. So why you think that you are the right fit for that interview? So you should give the examples of what you have done apart from learning or in your academics. Like there are a lot of extracurricular things, like you might be good in sports, you might be good in some of the other activities. So probably you can quote those examples, bring those instances when you're telling that how you are a team player, or how you are a how you can collaborate with other people, how you can be an inclusive in the organization, uh, and how you can mold yourself when there is a fitment in a particular department. So you have to give those instances and quote some of those examples which you have come across in your academics. So just talking about what is the technical knowledge will not, I think, help you to get through the interview. There are a lot of things, and communication, I think that's very, very important. So communication makes a lot of difference in the interview. So how you're going to talk to the person, as Naina said rightly, listen carefully, understand what is the interviewer wants to know from you, and probably keep the questions in the end. You can ask questions, don't hesitate to ask questions. You are always you have the right to ask questions. Like you can ask the interviewer like, how did you find this organization, how has been your experience working in this organization, how have you contributed? So you can ask any such questions where you will learn from them. So even though they are very senior, there is, don't hesitate to ask questions if you want to, if you are really intended to be a part of that organization. So I think these are few things that I felt is important.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Like ma'am said, mere throwing away of words, like I have leadership skills, I'm a good decision maker, it's not going to work. How are you a good decision maker? Given some instance, like wherein you have portrayed or you have showcased your skill set, that will be very helpful. Yes, ma'am. With that input, I go to
Sorry,
Miss.
Priyanka, I think I left one more point.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
try to
Please.
avoid negative,
Yes.
whatever, bad mouthing. Like even if something was not good in your previous organization or in your experiences, don't try to quote that. Don't take those examples at all. Try to avoid as much as possible to share any kind of negativity in the interviews. Try to be very open, but at the same time try to avoid those kind of whatever talk you want to say to the interview.
Yes, ma'am, that's right. Thank you so much. Miss Vandana, I move to you. Can we have your inputs, please? I think you need to unmute yourself, ma'am.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think everything is completed. But however, I would just add on to it that, be yourself. That is very important, primarily. Because, how long can you fake yourself? It's practically impossible. And we have already done the journey what you are into. So we technically know it. Second most important thing, for example, I've seen a lot of people during the panel, they come and say, my English is not good. Okay. We are not judging you on your language. Please understand that. But there's another side to it. I knew my English is not good, right? So you had huge amount of time to work on your thing. Rather than upskilling your weakness, you made it a very strong weakness. As an organization, we are looking for a 360 degree. We want you to be presentable. We want you to be a part of the meeting. We also want you to, share your ideas. On the panel, when there are 3-4 people sitting and, you fumble and that's the thing you say, you are somewhere, creating the gray area in our mind. So probably I would say, work on your weaknesses. I would not say that leave your strength aside, but some things, these are non-negotiable in an organization. So please make sure that we scale up ourselves. One. Second, we take grooming very casually. I have seen a lot of kids, who come very casually with the long hairs and, tattoos and all. Okay, I am not anti-tattoo or something. You're most welcome to live the life you want. But carry yourself nicely. A formal is always a formal. So understand what a formal attire is when you are walking in an interview. Even for girls also, be comfortable. If you are a person who is always in a chudidar, wear that on an interview day. You don't have to change your personality overnight for something because you start getting discomfort. You keep doing like this, like this. You don't have to be. So start working on yourself in the small bits of thing. Because the person sitting on the other side, they start noticing you, right? So your presentation really makes a huge difference. The way you walk, the way you talk, and the way you put your, a pen and a paper on the desk, even that is being checked, seen very clearly by an interviewer. So practice all these things. These are things which you learn over a period of time. So you have to practice, and there's no shortcut. Let me tell you very clearly. You can't just do one campus to corporate for 3 days and then say, okay, I'm ready to hit any interview. No, you have to practice. See, you all are on Instagram, right? R. Madhavan had a very beautiful reel coming on where he said that all my friends used to walk up and say, Kiri, you speak so beautiful English, amazing English. Our English is not good. Madhavan, I have really good ideas as an engineer, but I'm not able to present it. Then Madhavan said that differentiated me from my friends because I started working on myself. I worked on basic etiquettes, like how to eat, how to shake hands, which is very simple. I'm sure most of the colleges, they do campus to corporate. People just touch hand and just take it out. By the time you realize that there was a handshake, it's already gone. So these are the small things which create an impression to us. So start grooming yourself. It's very, very, very critical part. Be yourself, be confident about it. Please go through your resume 10-15 times before you are actually handing over to the panelist. What happened? We generally change the name. Oh, we all have done the same project, right? So just flip the names. That's a common mistake. Probably I would have also done it. So I can, recall and say. And the interviewers are so smart. They ask you, okay, what was your role there? What did you do there? And then you're like, no, I don't remember this. So then we start going to fro. So rather than please read your resume 10 times, see if any changes are there. We don't want any fancy resumes. Single pager, more than enough. We want to listen from you. We don't want to read through the sheets, right? So give us bullet point. Follow the concept of KISS. Keep it sweet and short. Speak. As everybody said, listen. That's the biggest leakage we have today. Tell me about yourself. We can speak the entire story from our birth till date. Understand. We want to know you, not your family. When we want to know about your family, our next question would be that, right? You give us all the information, and then it's an interview. We're like, okay, what to ask? We know your extracurricular, we know your hobbies, we know what you have done. You would have given us all the information, my strength, my weakness. It's like, I have by hearted, and let me not put a stoppage and let me tuck, 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 give all the points. Hold your horses. The more you speak, the more you are giving opportunity to interviewer to grill you. So give limited information to them primarily. Whatever you are speaking or giving information, let it be authentic. Please make sure. Today, if you look in most of the organization, integrity is one of the most important pillar. Where today we say we don't mind asking a top performer to step out of an organization if 0.1% integrity is on stake. So here I'm telling you, integrity plays a very, very, very crucial role today. Why? Because for simple thing, we cannot disturb our ecosystem. So be very clear in your thoughts. Don't push someone else's idea to your ideas, because one round you may clear, but second round somewhere you will be caught, right? So be very specific, be genuine to yourself. You don't know something, please tell. See, most of the interviews, when candidate ask us something and we don't have any answers for it, we ourselves say, let us connect back after some time, or we will come back to you. And we make sure that we inform the colleges about it, right? So there's no harm that, I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm not aware about it. Cool, accept it, right? So start framing yourself, do mock interviews, time up yourself, put a timer, video record your interview, send it to your friends, send it to your colleagues, connect with your seniors. This is very important. They have already gone through that phase of life. You have somebody in the same organization. Try connecting with that person. Try to understand that, okay, what it is, how it is, how does the organization function, as it was mentioned just now. Just don't go through the website and come. There are a lot of information about an organization, and that is one of the striking points for a candidate, that okay, you have done your homework. Sometimes when we ask a candidate, he said basic 4 points, like somebody would have googled it and let's share with each other. So know about it. What are the mission, vision? That's where you stand out. You want to know that, okay, do you know where we want to go through, or what is our destination? Are you aligning with our thought process? So very, very simple things, but it really makes a difference, right? Because if you're not the kind of person who matches with my peers, my workforce today, maybe you are 95 percentile, I am not able to take you to that level, right? So there is a key factor, your openness, your understanding about an organization, more important, understanding about yourself. So be very specific when you are on a panel. But yes, I would again emphasize grooming plays a very, 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 very crucial role. How you walk, the way you sit, the way your clothes are. You can't wear an unironed clothes and come for an interview. It creates a perception about you. Take little time, practice, wear your formal clothes, practice it 10-15 times. It is not going to cost you anything, but the day you finally go, you're prepared for it, right? So these are small things you have to work on yourself, and I would request all the students to start working on it. Don't wait for the last minute, because the last minute is never there for us. So make sure that things are falling in sync. If there's any missing link, you find this is not right, I need to work on it. Next important thing, don't pick up jazzy vocabularies. We are not running a show, English show or something. So speak simple things. If you don't understand a particular word of an interviewer, don't be afraid. Go ahead and tell them, ma'am, I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you meant. Could you please rephrase yourself? We would be more than happy to do it. Right? So these are the small tricks and tips I would say we look forward in students, and we want students, right? You are the human capital, and every organization is looking for you. Your marks plays a very, very critical role, but at the same time, you as an individual are more important to us. So look forward a 360-degree complete package, what comes on a table of an interviewer or for an organization. So start working on it, and then bringing a platform for you becomes very easier for us. So come that way that we cannot say a no to you. That's how I feel. Over to you,
Yes.
Priyanka.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Like students, remember there's something called as the rule of 12 when you have to impress someone. That's how does your first 12 inches of the body look, your eye contact, a smile, right? And the first 12 steps that you take into an interview room. How do you seem? How do you walk? How are you dressed, right? And also the first 12 words that you utter from your mouth when you start talking to an interviewer. How are you prepared to impress them, right? So this is called something, the rule of 12. That's what they'll be looking out for. So I suggest you guys start practicing as soon as possible, so that you'll be well prepared when the time has come that you have to get placed in a very good organization, right? So that's one. We are running short of time, but I would like to throw this one question to the panelists, and I keep it open, anybody can answer. So it's like, how has this trend of hiring changing with the advent of AI? How is it changing with the advent of AI? What are the changes that you see? Since you have a lot of experience since then to today, how has it changed? How will it impact the students?
Priyanka, if you can allow me to
Yes,
step
sir,
in.
sure.
Firstly, let me come back to the way we started this particular conversation, and I asked the children, the students, what is the difference between job and career? I think this is the right time to tell them also. Job will allow you to sleep, career will not allow you to sleep. Uh, Probably, if you want to make a career, trust me, you will have that passion. And just summarizing what all the panelists said, Naina, Mosha, and Vandana, we all want a career in life, and we need to upskill ourselves. One thing. Why I always say a career is because even when I'm leaving my job at around 6:37 or whatever time it is, I keep telling myself, what should I do next day so that it becomes better than yesterday? What should I do next day so that it becomes better than yesterday? And what all benchmarks can I create that I can better them? For students of this era, there's a lot of things available, a plethora of opportunities. Probably we didn't have AI or anything else that time to Google and get some answers how to crack interviews. We did it through encyclopedias and other things, how to be the best among the best. But today, there's a lot of opportunity which is available with the students. One thing which I want to share with the students is that please don't come with an expectation. Why I'm telling you is this, because I happen to interact with children and I asked them what is the job thing and all. They were saying we are open to work, etc., etc. I asked them only one question: are you ready to come to office on Sunday? And trust me, many of them said, "Sir, we'll get back to you." So when I ask this kind of a question, people should be ready that they are having a career in mind, right? They should be 24 into 7 available. They should not be like that. If they should not be in that fear that my boss is calling me, there must be some trouble. That kind of thinking should not be there. They should first create a rapport among themselves, and then create a rapport with the reporting managers as they step into an office. One. Now, coming back to your question on AI, let me tell you honestly, AI is creeping in very fast. And gone are the days probably when students would be looking at AI as an opportunity. AI is there, but at the end of the day, you have to speak for yourself, right? AI will give you some answers, but what the interviewer wants is a solution from your side. Trust me, if that chat GPT is available for you, the same chat GPT is available for everyone sitting over there, right? So you ask a question, how does Sunday look like? The same answer will be given to the same person or and 15 students who are studying with you. You need to come out with a good answer. And let's say you ask question, what is emotional intelligence? Same answer is there on ChatGPT, which is available for anyone who's sitting besides you. But you have to be creative. You have to be innovative. That is what we are looking at. Any tool is just there to help you, but doesn't substitute you. Please be aware of that. It doesn't substitute you. We are looking at honest, unique people. We are looking at individuals who will contribute. Today, when Nainam, Usha, and Mandana are there in organization, I'm quite sure what they're doing is taking the organization to the next level. We are looking at that kind of individuals who will take the organization to the next level. These tools and techniques will only be supportive to their cause, but they will not substitute you. So my tip to all the students who want a wonderful career and not a job is that start focusing on yourself. Understand where they want to be in the next 5 years and then work backwards. Skill yourself. As probably Vandana said, English may not be something big thing, but they can probably work on their skills. If someone is, let us say, someone doesn't have a good resource to buy some good clothes, you can save money, invest in yourself, and make sure after interval of, let's say, 1 quarter or 3 4 months or 6 months, buy yourself good clothes and shoes which can help you to crack interview. An investment on yourself will only be taking you a step further to crack a good interview. And second important thing, don't think that if my peer has got into a good organization, I will not get into an organization. All organizations are good. It is you who are creating the organization. A Tata is made up of employees who are contributing Tata to the next level. Or a Jindal is being driven by people who are working there. Google, Microsoft, you name them, it is the employees who are taking them to the next level. So don't look at those names. You are the name. You are the people who are going to bring in value to the organization. So to answer your question, use AI, but don't be a slave to AI. We want personalities who are unique and innovative.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Rightly said. Use AI, but do not be a slave to it, right? That's right. Yes, the rest of the panelists, if you have anything to add on to the question.
So yeah, one thing, as he rightly said, use AI. Definitely, AI can be of immense help in creating your email templates to bring in that professionalism to the whole structure of your sentence and all of that. However, the personalized experience should come from within. You can use the template, but personalize it, tweak it into what you think when you want to respond to the other person, the person on the other side. I think that personalizing becomes very, very important. Definitely ChatGPT is going to be there. It is going to go a long way. It is going to go hand in hand with us in our work from day to day. But yes, how we personalize it, how we customize it to our context, I think becomes very, very important. I think that's the key here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. The information is available everywhere, but how do you personalize it? How do you put it into your
Contextualize it.
perspective?
Yes,
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 how do you
yes.
contextualize it? That's rightly worded. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, Ms. Usha Murthy and Vandana, ma'am, do you have any final words?
Yeah, I would like to say to the students that yes, AI has really changed the hiring process in many of the organization. The best part is that probably the waiting period to hear from the recruiters has reduced because this whole automation has taken care of the screening part and whatever. I think nowadays they have started doing the online exams through the AI and all those things. So that way it is, you will be hearing it the whatever the feedback from the recruiter sooner. But at the same time, as Vandana and Jijo said, like end of the day, it is a system, so it cannot replace a human, and everything has to be the input and output has to be taken by a human only. So finally, when we get it, it only helps us to know the skills and the scores of an candidate. But finally, when we see there are other parameters that will go into hiring a person. So I think whatever we just gave you all the inputs, so be to yourself, and what the skills matters, the knowledge, and what you contribute to the company. That's very important. So yeah, that's about from my end.
Thank you so much, Usha ma'am. And Vanda ma'am, quickly, because the students have their buses leaving at 4:10, so we need to wrap it early. Yeah.
I had just one thing to say. AI is also created by one of you. Kids like you have created AI. So we never knew you come up with something really brilliant along the way. So trust your instinct and trust yourself. Use technology to upscale yourself. Don't get scared of it, right? When AI came, even we were scared, HR department is going to collapse and, AI is going to do recruitment and all. Nothing. Probably AI has given us more healthy competition, I would say. And, as a recruiter, we have also got more advanced, right? So it's just making you plus, plus, plus. So don't get scared. The world is open for all of you. So just walk your path. That's from my.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I thank all the participants, that's the students, staff, the organizers, and especially our esteemed panelists on behalf of ISERT for sparing their valuable time to spend with our students. I thank one and all and conclude this session for the day. Meet you all on another conclave next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
Thank you,
Nice meeting you.
Priyanka.
Thank you.
Thank you
Nice
so
meeting
much.
you
And
all.
wish you a good
Thank
luck to all the students. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.